the deer and the antelope play.
And who could be more at home on the range than the Range Rider? With his thrilling adventures of the great outdoors, his exciting experiences rivaling those of Davy Crockett, Daniel Boone, Buffalo Bill, and other pioneers of this wonderful country of ours. And Dick West, All-American Boy.
Johnson. Hurry up. Come on, hurry up. Now get going and don't come back.
I'm going all right, and I'm coming back. And when I do, I'm going to have plenty of help. There's no railroad stealing my ranch.
Nobody's stealing anything. We've got a court order to move you off. The law's the law.
You want the law any more than we are. You're railroad police hired by Mark Sanders.
Crooks is more like it.
All you've got to do is get moving.
Yeah, we ain't going no place but back to our house. Open up that gate. Come on, open it up.
Grandma!
I'll teach you to do it yourself.
Stop it, you'll kill him. Grandpa! Let him go. Steve!
You keep up. Got it,
I knew you'd get here, Steve, when you heard what was
Now,
happening.
don't you worry no more about it, Grandpa. We're going back home.
Not just yet, Betty. It won't be safe for you there.
You're darn right it won't, Brady. Wait till Mark Sanders hears about this.
Take the men over to those trees and tie their hands over their heads. Tom, take Betty and her grandfather on to the camp. I'll join you in a little while.
Come on, get in there. Get up. All right.
What are you going to do?
You two seem to enjoy using this whip on people who can't defend themselves.
Now, wait a minute, Steve.
Shut up. Matt was lucky compared to Larson and Andrews here. Larson recovered, but Andrews lost the sight in one eye.
Look, Brady, we didn't mean for anything like that to happen.
A little of your own medicine may slow down your whip hand. Andrews, here.
Well, I'll be. That's a new approach.
Let's go down and butt in. Look! Hold your fire, Pete. We don't want to kill anyone.
right, that's enough. Get up. Go pick up your horse, Dick. We'll go back and find out what this is all about.
Right.
Give me your gun.
Well, how do you like that? They didn't even stick around long enough to say thanks.
Who were they? Why were you whipping them?
We've got nothing to say. Why are you so interested?
Just curious.
It was a personal matter. What are you going to do about it?
Well, there's not much that we can do without any proof. It's your word against ours. In the future, I suggest that you let the law take care of any of your differences.
What do you make of it?
I don't know, Dickie. Looks like we've run into some kind of a personal feud. Let's ride into town and see what we can find out.
Any idea who the two strangers were?
No. We didn't figure it's smart to stay around and find out.
If they were lawmen and caught up with Steve, we'd had to help bring him in.
Well, you used your head for a change. I want Steve Brady brought in, but I want him brought in my way.
What about this federal Judge Blake that just hit town?
I don't know yet. I'll have to wait and see what his first move is. In the meantime, we got to keep Steve Brady from being brought to trial. The other ranchers look to him as their leader. If we can just get rid of him, we won't have any more trouble with the rest of them.
Well, I hope not. I wouldn't want those new survey records of mine investigated too closely.
Those records include me just as much as they do you. Oh, by the way, I've just increased the reward for Brady to $2,500. Someone will surely double-cross him for that kind of money.
We on time?
Yep, right on the button. Let's go.
Good to see you, Dick.
Hello, Judge.
And you, Range Rider. I see you're right on time.
Good to see you again, Judge Blake. Sit down.
Thanks.
Now, you mind telling us what's here?
Well, as you know, I'm here to straighten out the trouble between the railroad and the ranchers.
From what we've seen, that's not going to be too easy.
I know. And only because a number of hot-headed ranchers have refused to sell right-of-way to the railroad and have been legally evicted. Now they've banded together, and their continuous raids on railroad equipment and supplies have prevented the road from going through.
Well, can't the local law do something about it?
And not as yet, Dick. However, no one's been able to locate their hideout, supposedly somewhere up in Black Canyon.
So you want us to pick up their trail, take a posse into the canyon, and bring them out. Is that right?
Except for one thing. We must avoid bloodshed if possible. My investigation so far has led me to believe that these dispossessed ranchers are not entirely in the wrong.
They can't prove it by hiding out the way they are.
That's why I want you to bring in their leader, Steve Brady. That way I can try this case in federal court and force both the ranchers and the railroads to present their claim.
Sounds reasonable.
Now, here's a picture of Brady. Oh, incidentally, Mark Sanders, president of the Southwestern Railroad, has just increased his reward for Brady's capture from $1,000 to $2,500.
Oh, no, it can't be.
What's the matter?
You won't believe it, Judge. We had our hands on that man this morning and let him go.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. When we arrived, he and two of his boys were horsewhipping two men.
Probably Sanders' men. They were to evict old Matt Johnson and his granddaughter today.
Well, whoever they weren't too anxious to turn him in. As a matter of fact, they didn't even stick around to explain. So we had to turn Brady and his boys loose.
Try and get hold of Brady again. This time we'll force a showdown. I'm going back to the state capitol tonight. If you need me, contact me there.
Thank you, Judge.
we found in here. This canyon is just like a Chinese puzzle.
These wagon tracks we've been following, Dick, they can't be over a day or two old. Let's keep going. Well, now we should be able to go through the canyon.
Let's get this garbage out of the road first. Thanks. You see my hat?
The valley so low. Hang your head over, hear the wind blow. Hear the wind blow, dear, hear the wind blow. Hang your head over, hear the wind blow. Roses love sunshine, violets love
You've got to take it easy. Let the younger men do this sort of work.
bells in heaven. Know I love you. Know I love you, dear. Know I love you. Angels in heaven. Know I love you.
Hold it. Now put it down.
How did you get in here?
Through a window. You and I are going out through that window. We'll go someplace where we can talk uninterrupted. Now, you gonna come with me peaceably, or do I have to tie you up?
Too bad you didn't know who I was this morning. Or you could have saved yourself a lot of trouble. Are you a lawman?
Special investigator, Department of Justice.
Reach, mister.
Thanks, Matt.
Sorry, Range Rider. They got the drop on me.
No wonder they found us. The Range Rider is the best tracker in the West. Just one thing to do with them, if you ask me.
I told you before, we're not killing anyone. We'll hold them here until we can find another hideout, then turn them loose.
That's no good, Steve. The law will get you sooner or later. That is, if one of your friends doesn't say the law the trouble.
Well, none of the ranchers would double-cross him. He's done too much for them already.
No, I wouldn't be too sure, miss. Mark Sanders has just increased the reward for Steve to $2,500.
A live board did. That's a lot of money.
Who told you about the reward being changed?
I saw a poster.
Mark Sanders is nothing but a crooked land grabber.
We agreed to sell the railroad a right-of-way through our property. But that wasn't enough. The small print in the contract allowed them to condemn our ranches and pay us 10 cents on the dollar.
Believe me, Steve, I know how you feel. But the fact remains, the only way you're going to get your homes back is by presenting your case to an impartial court.
That's a lot of hogwash. Mark Sanders pulls the strings in Cedar City, and we ain't got enough money to get the case tried anywhere else.
Steve, if you'll surrender to me, I'll take you to state capitol. You can have your case tried by a federal Judge Blake. You can bring all of your friends there as witnesses. At the same time, they can present their own claims.
It sounds reasonable. I only wish I could believe you, Range Rider.
I'm afraid you have any other choice. There's already a price on your head. And before very long, all the other ranchers that oppose the railroad will be outlawed, too.
He's right, Steve.
But what if something goes wrong?
That's what worries me. We don't know whose side the Range Rider's on.
It's up to you to decide, Steve.
One thing's sure, Betty. The ranchers can't go on like this. Anything is better than spending your life dodging the law. It'll take some time to get my papers ready. We'll leave first thing in the morning.
But one of your boys go up the pass and untie the 2 men we left there.
I'll go. I want to let the other ranchers know what's happened anyway.
Here they come. All right, get them up. You're under arrest. Give me your gun.
Just a minute. Brady's my prisoner, and I'm taking to state capitol for trial.
Think these papers are on the up and up, Clem?
I suppose we'll have to wait and let the city marshal decide that.
You mean you'll let Mark Sanders decide?
Look, why don't you all quit your play acting? This meeting was fair range, and you know it.
You think Dickie and I double-crossed?
That's just exactly what I think.
Come on, we're wasting time. Get moving. You too, Deputy.
Since your papers seem to be in order, Range Rider, I'll release the prisoners to you.
You do, and this town will be appointing a new marshal.
Isn't that out of your jurisdiction, Sanders?
I'm merely protesting Brady being moved to another court. After all, the railroad police did have capture him.
Ah, that's a laugh. He surrendered to us.
It'll only be a short while, and
You'll have your instructions from Judge Blake before the day's over.
I don't see why the federal government wants to horn in.
And who are you?
Well, I happen to be the county surveyor, if that's any of your business.
In so much as we're going to subpoena your records of the railroad survey, who you are is my business.
Well, I'm always glad to cooperate with the law. I'm sorry.
Come on, we're wasting our time here.
Don't worry, Steve. You won't be in there long.
No, I won't. When my friends hear about this, they'll tear the jail apart to get me out.
That's a wrong attitude.
I don't like this, Mark. My records won't stand a close investigation.
Suppose you let me worry about that.
I sure hope the judge gets our wire. I don't like this setup.
Me either, Dick. Pete must have sold Steve Brady out to Saunders. He's the only one that left camp.
What's the meaning of this?
But you know, this is a federal offense, Mr. Sneed. Suppose you tell us.
Hey,
What'd you find, Dick?
these are homestead records. Here's one on Steve Brady's place.
Now, would you like to talk? Mr. Sneed, how would you like to spend the rest of your life in jail?
All right. All right. I'll talk. I've got nothing to lose. Those are phony records I made to match the railroad surveyor. I destroyed the originals.
This is just the evidence that Steve's been waiting for.
I'm afraid you're too late to help him.
Huh?
Pete Jackson's due to pull a jailbreak at any minute, and Steve's to be killed when he comes out. Biff's going to do the shooting from roof of a building across from the jail.
Dick, you warn Steve and the marshal. I'll take care of Biff.
Don't go away.
Get your hands up. Hand over the keys, Marshal.
I knew you'd get here sooner or later. In the cell, Marshal. Lock him up.
All of you. Steve, you're being framed. But you'll be shot the minute you walk out that door.
That's a laugh coming from you. And don't follow us this time.
The other two are over there asleep.
Good. Pick him up. All right, let's go. Open it up, Steve. Matt, you won't have to worry about the railroads any longer. This new president's only interested in the necessary right-of-way.
We're awfully thankful to you for helping us out, Range Rider. You too, Dick.
Doc, it was a pleasure. Betty's got such a pretty smile. I'd like to see her use it.
Oh, darling.